welcome to Occam's Razor, gardening, cooking, and canning, where we do the odd update on the status of the garden after following it all summer. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like. If you're watching us on Rumble, please give us a follow. And subscribe and comment. It drives the algorithm. When I'm not driving the algorithm down with my words. And speaking of words, the reason I'm out here today is my mind is rattling with incomprehensibility as to what our government is doing to us with each bill it is introducing. It's just insane. Oh, look at our compost pile. Perfect place to hide a body. Yes, hide the body there until you can dig a grave and then feed the garden with it the following year. Not that I have a body to hide, but I'm telling you, I'm thinking there's some bodies that the Liberal Party are going to need to hide soon because they are getting desperate. They are passing, or they have introduced a bill, Bill C8, that will allow any minister to basically decide that you're a threat, turn off your internet, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have no recourse, and if you tell anybody about it, they will throw you in jail. What kind of authoritarian bullshit is that? Look at our plant, eh? So our sunflower is done, and I'm just letting it die so I can get rid of it. The frost will come along soon this week. We're looking at a low of 2 degrees overnight in a couple of days. So I'm expecting the frost will just kill most of this off. Yes, but it doesn't stop with Bill C8, folks. Bill C9 is their hate legislation, right? Because this is what all the liberal, leftist, far-left governments have been doing under the globalist pact, and this has been going on in Australia, UK, and in Canada, where they basically have not enforced the laws. They've changed the laws just so much to allow society to degrade and collapse so that they can bring in more draconian rules like hate legislation. That's right, they've let hate run rampant on our streets.
You will not believe this. These two criminals come to burn down this movie theater in Oakville. Look. I've been to this theater.
Go the other side. Go the other side. Go the other side.
I can't believe what I'm even looking at. In Oakville, Ontario. This is the crime that's happening. Oh my God. This is insane.
They've even arrested independent reporters trying to cover it.
Hey, c'est une femme! Mais voyons donc! Mais voyons, vous êtes malade! Vous avez pas honte de faire ça? Hey, c'est une femme, là! C'est une journaliste indépendante. Qu'est-ce que vous faites là?
Je fais des voies de fait sur un policier.
En quoi vous faites de voies de fait? On va le voir sa caméra de bord, monsieur.
According to the Fraser Institute, Canada's population-adjusted rates of violent and property crime, which include theft, damage, or destruction of someone else's property, now exceed those of the United States, a reversal of trends prior to Trudeau's reign over our country. Violent crimes in Canada rose by 43.8% between 2014 and 2022, now 14% higher than in the US, while property crimes grew by 7%, leaving Canada with a 27% higher rate than our southern neighbor. Human trafficking incidents have nearly tripled, and Canada's homicide rate has climbed by 53.4% during this time. This sharp contrast follows a period where Canada consistently ranked safer than America. Critics blame Trudeau's catch-and-release policies, including Bill C-75, which prioritizes bail even for repeat offenders, and Bill C-5, which eliminates mandatory minimum sentences for violent crimes. Conservatives argue that these laws have emboldened criminals and undermined public safety, transforming once secure Canadian cities into hotspots of crime and disorder. So, while the U.S. continues to make progress in reducing crime, Canada is in reverse, leaving Canadians increasingly vulnerable under the watchful guise of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
The government-funded mainstream media has not covered it, right? That's why you have government-funded media in Canada, so they don't cover things so that they can pull shit like this. So their hate legislation will basically be wishy-washy about what hate is, so that they can just accuse you of being hateful, and then they will take away all your rights. That's right, they will arrest you without warrant. It is a warrantless arrest, which means they don't need the Attorney General's permission. And then you don't get to face your accuser, and then they can throw you in jail for life. Yes, I'm not kidding. This is what Canada is coming to. They want to throw you in jail for life for what they deem to be hate, which really means just anything you say politically against the government, like they do North Korea and China. And if they don't get you that way, they'll just shut you down by turning off your internet. And if you try to expose them, they will throw you in jail. I don't know how much more blatant to get about the Liberal government than that. People can say, oh, but Carney's a banker. He was the guy to save the country. Yeah, how's he doing? How's he doing with that? He was just asked questions yesterday about who he was talking to on his trip. And he was like, he was apprehensive about telling Canadians. In fact, we still don't know who he talked to. What the hell? You have an international trip going on with your leader, and he's talking to people, and we don't know who he's talking to, and he has this massive billion-dollar portfolio of business that keeps getting richer. We figured he's already made like 26 million bucks since he's been in office, slowly guiding policy towards his spot. Just the fact that he owns all those shares in Brookfield stocks boomed as soon as he became prime minister. Oh, but it's under an ethics screen. Oh, yeah, ethics screen my ass. All right, let's go to the front and look at these flowers I have in the front there. Morning glory. Yeah, ethics screen my ass. Let's see. Oh, there's no ethics screen because he still owns all the shares, and he will continue to own them right until after he is done his job. Okay? That's not an ethics screen. And people bought into it. They bought into the fear porn. Oh, Trump bad. We need to have a banker. We need to have a banker. Oh yeah, well, guess what? Every other job he's been at, if you talk to the people there that have reviewed his job performance, they said he was the worst thing that's ever happened to their economy. And
I think it is extraordinary that Mark Carney has become the Prime Minister of Canada. He did a terrible job in Britain of the governorship of the Bank of England. He created a lot of the problems that blew up on my watch and that I got blamed for were actually created by him. He backed Labour in the election and Rachel Reeves's policies, which are leading the country to bankruptcy. So why on earth the Liberal Party of Canada has selected this man, I have no idea. And I think it is illegitimate that this guy has never been elected as a member of Parliament in Canada. I'm utterly puzzled, and the Canadians. I'm not going to tell the Canadians how to vote. Obviously, I want the Conservatives to be elected in Canada. But I think it's Justin Trudeau has pursued a lot of the same policies that Europe has been pursuing, and America has raced ahead of us. Back at the turn of the millennium, the average Brit was catching up with the average American in terms of income per head. We are now $34,000 a year behind. We are poorer than Mississippi, which is the poorest American state. And the same is true. The same is true of France and Germany, and to some extent of Canada, because they pursued all of these woke policies. High taxes, high spending, not using their natural resources. And Justin Trudeau was the architect of that. And of course, Mark Carney has been the advocate of these policies. So I don't know what is going on in Canada, but in the same way as I think people in Britain need to wake up to what the real threat to our country is, I think they need to wake up in Canada.
And of course, Canada, here you are. Your economy is in collapse. Absolute bloody collapse. More than 60,000 people have left already. The amount of people that have been leaving the country every year because of liberal policies is over 60 grand. We've already hit that number now. This year is going to surpass all prior numbers of Canadians fleeing this country because of the authoritarian BS by the liberals slowly destroying our country. I don't know what else to do except get on my other show, The Nap. This is just the update. This is what's rattling around in my head. Canada is toast. Stick a fork in it and turn it over. If the Liberals are not removed after the budget is voted on, which will be a necessary vote, if they fail to vote, that means it's non-confidence. If there is a non-confidence vote that passes and we have an election, we have a chance. But if the budget passes, that's it, folks. We're done. We're toast. And I'm going to have to start making plans to leave this country. Because I'm not going to stay in North fucking Korea. This has been Occam's Razor, gardening, cooking, and canning. I don't know if there's going to be another episode. Well, there will be, at least after the frost. Join us on The Nap. Talk to you later. Bye.